Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Not a very good series for the Orioles down in Miami for several reasons. Key injury and bad performance. And that's not even the saddest headline. Depending on your Oriole fandom, I guess. Reports out today that Austin Hayes traded to the Phillies. Yes, you think, why are we trading a starting outfielder in the middle of a pennant chase? Well, he's not necessarily a starter, and Orioles aren't exactly sellers in that trade. I'll get a little more on the details a little later when I get to the articles. Was kind of a buyer-seller kind of moment, right? Phillies get something they need, Orioles get something they need. Something that I alluded to in one of my last videos, I can't remember which one. Trading from depth to fill a need. That's essentially what the Orioles did. As you can see, I'm on MASSonSports.com. Let's get to the first game in Miami. Baltimore Orioles 3, Miami Marlins 6. From Lone Depot Park in Miami. Lone Depot, okay. Henderson leading off as per usual, but no hits. Rutschman 1 hit, walked once, scored twice. Santander a hit, scored once. O'Hearn 2 hits, 1 RBI, walked once. Westberg a hit and an RBI. Cowser a hit and an RBI. Mountcastle with 2 hits. Mullins with 1 hit. Austin Hayes pinch hit late. Nothing. Mateo over. See only 1 at bat. Very. How do you even describe it? Because the play was on the second base side of the bag. Or the second baseman's side of the bag. Somewhat of a freak accident, and watching a replay, whoo! They only showed that full replay one time, I think, because it was watching somebody's elbow get bent back the wrong direction, about 90 degrees the wrong direction, can be tough for some people to watch. Yeah, so ground ball again. Second baseman side of the second base bag. Henderson and Mateo going after it. Somewhat disappointing because the defense that you have when you have Henderson at shortstop and Mateo at second base. You don't have a shortstop and a second baseman. You essentially have a left stop and a right stop. They're both shortstops. Just one's on the wrong side of the bag. And that's part of it, right? Like if one of them didn't have as much range, this doesn't happen. Of course, they collided. Mateo's elbow got bent and allegedly, they're calling it a dislocation-ish type of, I can't remember the term. There's a more specific term in one of the articles. But supposedly somehow with rolling over, because they collided and then kind of rolled over too, bent it out of place and then it kind of, popping it out of its socket, I guess, and then at the same time, right after it, popping it back in the socket. So, Mateo will be out for a period of time. We do not know how long. Not as yet. I mean, it's somewhat early. So, that's why Mateo only 1 at bat. Arias coming in to play in lieu of Mateo. Over. Not very good offensively for the Orioles. Not an extra base hit to be had at all. And to make matters even worse, Mullins caught stealing and Rutschman a throwing error. Well, when it rains, it pours, and it frequently does in Miami. Suarez got the start in this game. He actually left with... Didn't even see an update on the injury. But it's somewhat tough to tell if it was really an injury or not. He wasn't pitching good. Took a ball off his leg. They took him out. 2 full innings pitched for Albert Suarez. Gave up 8 hits, 6 runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. The good news here is the rest of the pitching staff gave you a chance to win. The offense just couldn't put up 6 or more runs. Aiken came on in relief of Suarez, pitched 1 1/3 of an inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Mr. Birch Smith continuing with his great performances as an Oriole. Hopefully it continues. We're going to need it. Pitching 1 2/3 of an inning, doesn't give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. Mr. Natoli coming in after Smith. Another new guy in the bullpen. Pitches 2 full innings. Gives up 1 hit, but no runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. Well, the newcomers to the bullpen are doing very good. I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop, you know? Like, at some point, I feel like the league gets used to you and makes an adjustment, and then you have to make an adjustment on that. Otherwise, you're not going to have many more performances like this. But as of yet, the league has not made an adjustment. We'll see moving forward. Baker on in a relief, and since you lost, you only had to pitch 8 innings instead of 9. So, bully for us. Yay. Brian Baker pitches the 8th inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Very disappointing. I mean, Suarez gave up a whole bunch of stuff, and then nothing after that. Nothing in his 6 innings after that. And the offense could barely do anything. Oh well. No, this is not the same game. This is Saturday's game. Identical score. Baltimore Orioles 3, Miami Marlins 6. Again. The return. It's like a movie type. Henderson, 0 though he did walk once. Rutschman, 0 not good. Santander, a hit and a run scored. O'Hearn, a hit and a run scored. Kerstad getting the start in left field. Know how I feel about that. No hits, but did walk twice and scored once. Westberg, no hits. Cowser, 2 hits, 3 RBIs, also walked once. Hayes coming in late because, well, I guess just because it doesn't say pinch hit. Of course, it does have numbers here, which it usually didn't have numbers. Interesting. I mean, he had to have pinch hit. Good God. Because there's no defensive replacement there. So he pinch hit. Lefty versus righty, which you seem to love doing that, Brandon Hyde. So I don't know what you're going to do now, because you can't do that. You lost the ability to do that. Though, to a certain extent, that may be good. Hayes did walk in his only plate appearance. Mullins in center field. 0 walked once. Mountcastle pitch hitting late. Going in to play first base somehow. Yeah, they kind of totally changed the way they did the box score here, because they would put, I remember how they finagled the lineup, if they even had to. Because it does, I mean, Henderson 4 at bats and Arias here 4 at bats. I don't even remember who the hell. Was it Arias? I don't remember. God. Such an awful series. Awful series. Orioles did end up getting 1 win as. Oh, God. Can we just remove this series? Terrible. Mountcastle, nothing in his only at bat. Arias, nothing in 4 at bats. Cowser with a double. Did a bases loaded clearing double, which is great, but here you got 2 games against Miami Marlins, 1 extra base hit. Chase McDermott gets a start in this one, yes. Because Povich was never recalled. Remember, before this All-Star break, they sent Povich down and brought up Natoli for an extra bullpen arm. Hadn't done the replacement for the rotation spot yet. They did prior to this game, sending Brian Baker back to AAA and recalling Chase McDermott for his Major League debut. Meh. I mean, it's tough to say because it's a bad series all around by the Orioles. Like, if somebody was hitting better, if somebody was fielding better, would this have gone differently for Chase McDermott? 4 innings pitched. Gives up 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, strikes out 3. It's not a bad performance for your Major League debut, but it's not that good. I feel like Cade Povich was a little better. Chase McDermott, the Orioles got Chase McDermott in the Trey Mancini deal a few years ago, where Mancini went to the Astros. It was a 3-team trade with Orioles, Astros, and another team I can't remember. It was too long ago. I don't know. Povich kind of looks better to me. But again, I've seen Povich a few times and McDermott once. Mr. Perez in to relieve McDermott. Pitches 1 full inning, the 5th inning. Gives up 2 hits, 2 runs, a walk. Does strike out a batter. Not good by Perez. Jacob Webb comes on in relief for Perez, pitching the 6th inning. Webb actually gets a loss in this one. I'm not exactly sure why, but okay. Because so many other people gave up runs before him. But, however, I feel like Perez or McDermott gets the loss, but it's fine, I guess. Full inning pitch for Webb. Gives up 1 hit, 1 run, and 1 walk. No strikeouts. Even here, it doesn't even say. It says home run Bell, 110. Total for his career. Usually, in parentheses here, it says who he hits it off of. What did they do with their... Wow, this is terrible. What happens when you don't proofread this stuff? I might have to find a better box score. Ooh, oy vey. Cole Irvin in relief of Jacob Webb. Pitches 1 inning, which I'm very surprised that he only went 1 inning. It almost doesn't even make any sense. Pitching the 7th inning, the full 7th inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. And then Keegan Aiken in for the 8th inning. Why? Okay. Keegan Aiken in the 8th. Again, you lost, so you get the bonus of not having to pitch an inning. Gives up 1 hit, but no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. For whatever reason, Mateo being injured in Game 1, they did not make the roster move, as in Mateo to the IL and bringing up who? My initial thought was Mayo. Your options were going to be between Norby and Mayo because they're going to want the right-handed bat. I thought they'd bring up Mayo just, hey, let's check out what Mayo has to offer, you know? No, they're going to bring up Norby, at least as of this point, but they didn't make the move for this game. Why? That's a good question. I guess they thought after your elbow bends the wrong way, putting you on the 10-day injured list, oh, he could be back before then. His elbow went from, bending like a normal elbow to going the opposite direction. I don't think he's going to be able to play for the next 10 days. And honestly, it's probably irresponsible for you to even try to. You don't seem to handle arm injuries very well. Just look at all the pitchers you've been losing. Okay, get to game 3. Yes, by this time, Norby is with the club and Mateo is on the IL. Again, I don't know why it didn't happen sooner. Finally, you get a win. Sunday's game, Baltimore Orioles 7, Miami Marlins 6. And it took them 10 innings to do it. Because, of course, they blew the lead. Henderson, 1 hit in 5 at-bats. Wow. Well, you should have given him the time off when you had the opportunity. Now you don't have the opportunity because who's playing shortstop? Yeah. Sorry, Gunnar. It doesn't look like you're going to get a day off anytime soon. Jordan Westburg hitting in the 2-hole. That's right. No Adley Rutschman. Thank God you give somebody a day off. You got all these pieces on the bench, and it's like Henderson and Rutschman got to play too much, really. Westburg, no hits, but he did score a run. That's what happens when there's errors in fielders' choices and such. Santander, 2 hits, an RBI, and a run scored. Cedric Mullins, pinch running late in the game. Was actually thrown out on a play. Very disappointed. A hit by Mountcastle. Mullins tried to score from second. It was very close. Like, it's not like he went and he shouldn't have. It's very disappointing with 1 out. Mountcastle gets the hit. Mullins is out trying to score. And then they throw to second and get Mountcastle out. It's like, oh my God. Really? Of course, this is in the 10th inning, so you're like, well, there goes that. Because, of course, the Marlins are going to get that extra run across. Well, they didn't somehow. O'Hearn hitting cleanup. Ofer, though he did walk and score once. Jesus. Mountcastle, 3 hits, an RBI, and a run scored. Cowser hit 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored, and walked once. Well, somebody can hit something. Hayes, 2 hits. Norby, playing second base. Good. Yeah, I can't believe they got like 1 shortstop on the team. Though at the same time, Westburg and Reese, they could play shortstop. They could. Norby, 2 hits, an RBI, and a run scored. McCann, oh my God, a hit and an RBI. Not only did James McCann actually get a hit in this game, but he got us an RBI. I mean, a run. He got us a run with that hit. Wow. That, never happens. Mountcastle with a double. Santander, Cowser, and Norby with home runs. Yeah, Norby's already got 2 home runs in his major league career. That is kind of what we're saying. That, some of these guys, say Norby, maybe Mayo too, they're ready to be on this club. They're ready. They're ready to be starters. Maybe not, but they're ready to be on this club. Of course, Norby kind of screwed us in the 9th inning, but whatever. Mullins with a stolen base. Henderson with a caught stealing and a picked off. And a fielding error. Yeah, I'll get to that when I talk about the 9th inning. Because everybody's going to blame Kimbrel. Which is, this is so ridiculous. Because I'm about to talk about the starting pitcher. And it's like, oh my God. Really? What is wrong with you people? It's like, I don't know. Are you poorly managed? Or you terrible? Or you're tired? Or something? Because Corbin Burns comes out here and gives you 7 1/3 innings. Only 6 hits. Only 3 runs. Yeah, 3 runs might sound like a lot. But, come on now. 7 1/3 inning? You needed to get 5 outs from your bullpen. Before your opponent gets 3. Couldn't do that. Burns does give a walk, which, still, his whip is under 1. I'm going to take that. 5 strikeouts. Jacob Webb in to finish the 8th inning. Does give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Enter Craig Kimbrell. Yeah, I know what everybody's saying, but you know what? The defense let him down. Big time. As you can see, Kimbrell here did get 2 outs in the 9th inning. And yes, he did allow 2 hits. And yes, he did allow 3 runs to score. But only one of them was earned. You had the Henderson fielding error. I mean, he gets an out there, and then you know what? That sacrifice fly, that ends the game. But no. And even the play before that, if Norby doesn't trip over his own shoelaces, they get an out there. But that's why only one of the 3 runs surrendered in the 9th was earned. Yeah, Kimbrell did walk 2. I say they're getting squeezed, but I mean, it's almost kind of like the universe, umpires in Major League Baseball included, have it out for the Orioles. Why? I don't know. Look, we got a new ownership group, and they seem like they want to spend money. So, you know, putting more money into MLB and all that stuff's like, why y'all hating on us? Whatever. So, blown save by Kimbrell. Cano in to get the last out in the 9th inning. He does with a strikeout. And then again, you're able to get the extra runner across. Mountcastle is. Then Mullins trying to score, getting thrown out at the plate. And then Mountcastle getting thrown out trying to move up to second base. And I'm kind of surprised Brandon Hyde didn't challenge it because, you know, you're in extra innings. And what have you got to lose? And you don't know what New York's replay system is going to see versus your own. I guess maybe you got the same angles. However, surprised he didn't challenge it. Because at that point, like, why not? Right? Okay, I guess you were saving your challenge for the bottom of the 10th. Okay. Ciano Perez, up and down with Ciano Perez, especially in this series, but for whatever reason, where he didn't have it the previous outing, he had it this outing. Pitches 1 full inning, the 10th inning, to seal the win and get himself a save. No hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Wow. It's like, why do we not get performances like that from Ciano Perez more often than not? I mean, I guess maybe we do, but God awful. Article written here by Steve Molesky talking about Mateo and Norby, the exchange there. I guess Steve Molesky cites something Brandon Hyde said, and it's, oh, well, there's so much swollenness, they didn't want to be too hasty. I'm like, come on, man. Maybe they didn't see the same angle I saw. No. Mateo's not going to play for 10 days, at least. And even if, after something like that, no. Whatever. What did they... Okay, they're calling it, and again, this article written by Steve Molesky, left elbow subluxation? Yeah. Tell I did not have a career in medicine. Talking about the roster moves here, man, it's some weird roster moving, right? Baker went down to get McDermott on the roster, Mateo to the IL to get Norby up here. No Mayo as of yet, but they are having Mayo play first base in the minor leagues. Of course, like, why weren't you already doing that? Why not? Whatever. And even right before Sunday's game, which is weird because of the injury thing. Yes, usually because of injuries, you can immediately recall somebody you just sent down. I was, I guess I always thought, especially with the way the pitching and the position players are on your roster now, that you couldn't like just recall a pitcher when you had a position player injured. But apparently you can. So Brian Baker immediately recalled, and they were able to do that because of the injury to Mateo. And Chase McDermott sent back down. So you had Baker available in the bullpen, which is nice. And McDermott needed room on the 40-man, so Jonathan Heasley, who's actually been out with some shoulder inflammation, has been DFA'd. Now, the idea with that is because he's injured, probably clear waivers, so the Orioles will be able to keep him, hopefully, but we'll see. Yeah, this is just me trying to make sure we know all the moves. This article this last article was written by Rock Kubatko. So, yeah, trying to get information. This is more about the Chase McDermott coming up, and this is more about Chase McDermott going down. So, McDermott for Baker, and then Baker for McDermott. Weird how I was able to do that. But, okay. Oh, no. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. Woo-hoo. This article also written by Steve Mileski. You can see the headline right there. O's Phillies trade. And he even mentioned, alluding to why Mayo is playing more first base, the Orioles actually might be willing to deal Mountcastle and Mullins this deadline. Part of it is because, again, you want to trade from depth to fill a need. Well, you got, what's his name? Ryno, Hearn, and even Santander, I think, looks good at first base. You got Mayo down there, which he should have been playing more first base to begin with. I don't know why he was sticking to just third base, but whatever. So then maybe you could deal Mountcastle and get a pitcher. That would be the thought. Mullins, I don't think they're dealing Mullins now that they already dealt Hayes. Of course, why you would want Hayes instead of Mullins, I don't know. Whatever. Hayes hitting a little better. What the Orioles get in return is Sir Anthony Dominguez. Sir Anthony is one word, one name. It's not like Sir Anthony Dominguez. Sir Anthony Dominguez. We saw him when the Phillies were in town. He got a big fastball, got a pretty big two-seam fastball as well, which is kind of surprising. His fastball, his four-seamer is like 98 miles an hour, and his two-seamer is like 97 miles an hour, which you don't see often. But, I mean, lots of velocity out of there, so that there's a lot of benefit to getting that. His numbers aren't that great, but, you know, you need bullpen help. You need bullpen help. And platooning Hayes and Cowser and Kjerstad and Mullins between two outfield spots isn't exactly a good thing to do. It's just disappointing. I didn't want Austin Hayes to not be on his team, you know? And they also get outfielder Christian Pache, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, from the Phillies. He is more of a defensive specialist kind of outfielder than, let's say, an offensive guy. Though from what I understand with Mr. Pache here, he's got a little bit more speed, so again, it does. If you wanted to give Mullins a break, I'm thinking Pache probably a better center fielder as far as speed and glove goes than Cowser. So it does kind of improve your defense when you're platooning. Might hurt your offense, but when you're, giving guys a break, you shouldn't be sacrificing defense by giving Mullins time off. What about roster moves? I didn't notice any roster moves I don't know about the roster moves yet because you're essentially getting 2 players for 1 player. So how do you get them both on the team? Of course, that's assuming that you want Pache on the team right now. So we'll see a bit later. I mean, this article written today, like an hour and a half ago. So I assume it's like officially official because the teams, how I understand the process goes, the teams agree on the terms, right? And then they send it up to Major League Baseball for final approval. It usually goes through. It's just, when is it official and when is it like officially official and when can you actually start making roster moves? Honestly, depends on, when Major League Baseball approves the trade and whatnot. All right, looking ahead to the next series. Get this. Oh my God, series in Miami is just atrocious. Orioles coming back home to Camden Yards to play the Padres. That's right, Manny Machado is coming home, even though he doesn't feel any love here. Okay, cool. Friday's game, tonight's game scheduled for 7:05. Saturday's game scheduled for 4:05. And Sunday's game scheduled for 1:35. So that is going to do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. Stay tuned for, let's see, no off day Monday. So stay tuned for, well, it'd be Monday anyway. I'll do the videos Monday anyway. So why I don't know why this upcoming schedule has anything. Why am I even looking at that? I mean, of course, whatever. So stay tuned for this coming Monday, and I will go over the series between the San Diego Padres and the Baltimore Orioles from Camden Yards. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Ryno, and this is Burnley.